This is big breaking emergency news. We are now getting reports that dozens of gang members are now taking over another major U.S. city. We are getting 911 calls and 911 dispatches to the area for reports of dozens of gang members from the same gang we've been dealing with from Venezuela. They are now taking over parts of Chicago. That's what happened last night, Monday night. Police were sent there to deal with the situation. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit it up for me down there. Hit that like and that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. All right, so another city, Chicago, is now being affected by this, and police are sending a presence out to deal with this. We're getting 911 dispatch calls from this saying that there were 32 Venezuelan gang members allegedly that were trying to take over and harassing residents at this apartment building, right? And this is already a area of Chicago that's dealing with gangs heavily. There's a heavy gang presence in this area of South Side Chicago, and we are now seeing these foreign gangs move in now too. Okay, so this is what's being reported, and then I will let you guys hear the 911 dispatch call as well too. All right, it says a 911 caller in Chicago, Illinois reports that over 32 Venezuelan gang members allegedly are trespassing in a residential building, displaying firearms and occupying the courtyard with motorcycles. The caller further mentions that all stairwells in the building are filled, creating a potential safety hazard, right? So they're kind of blocking people in here too. They're putting pressure on, right? They're seeing what they can get away with. They're seeing what the responses are, and the response time, they're saying it took over an hour apparently for the police to even get here. It says, in response, officers were dispatched to the 6100 block of South King Drive on Monday night after receiving reports of a large group, and reportedly they had firearms and they were in the building's courtyard with motorcycles and these moped things, like these Vespa scooter type things. That's what's being reported here. I want you guys to listen to the 911 dispatch call really quick and let me know what you guys think. And this is another city on top of Aurora, all right? I have a big update for Aurora coming soon too, all right? There's so much news going on, but this just happened last night in Chicago, right? Multiple different cities are being hit and being taken over by this Venezuelan gang, this TDA, all right? And the DHS has even put out warnings to Chicago police about this exact organization, this TDA. I will get to that in just a second too, but you can listen to this dispatch right here.
Unit 10-3, I'm citywide person with a gun, 6124 South King Drive. Caller says 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. All stairwells are filled. Nothing further is unclear. Hey, I'm sorry, you headed over to the shop center or to the 6124 in King for the migrants?
On King Drive.
Alright, 10-4. There's another available unit to arrive at 310. We had multiple calls. Person with the gun, 6124 South King. Also came over to disturbance large gathering. Could be 32 Venezuelans trespassing in the building property, showing guns in the courtyard. They have motorcycles in the courtway, all stairwells filled. And nothing further.
All right, so that's what's being reported here. That's what happened yesterday, Monday, in Chicago. Okay, and this happened this was right outside of Woodland, Chicago. Okay, and this happened near the 6100 block. And this is also right near the infamous area in Chicago known as O Block. This is literally 2 blocks away. You might be able to see O Block from where this situation was happening. And that's a notorious gang area as well, where there are a lot of different gangs in Chicago that are already there, domestic gangs. It's one of the most concentrated areas in the country, okay, and specifically O Block in this region of the 6400 block of South King Drive. That's where a lot of this is concentrated. And now we're having these foreign gangs allegedly move into the area as well too, and they're probably putting pressure on. And we are even seeing reports on social media. Okay, I don't really want to promote this because this is wild, this stuff going on here. Okay, but they are the domestic gangs there. They are warning the foreign gangs, allegedly from Venezuela, that there could be a battle, okay? That they could be fighting each other, okay? There could be exchanges of gunfire, right? That's what they're warning each other right now on social media. Domestic members are saying this. People that live here are saying this. And they're saying that they're going to protect themselves and protect their family and their neighborhoods, all right? There's local people, but there's also members of these organizations. This is right in the heart of it, O Block, that are also saying that they will battle these foreign gangs to get them out of there. So it's just chaos what we're dealing with here. It's sad in America that this is a situation where people are counting on domestic gangs to take out foreign gangs because the police and the state authorities, the National Guard, the state police, all the stuff, they're not doing their job. Okay, and everyone's been known that this is going on in Chicago for decades now. Okay, especially the past 15 years though has been really bad in this area of Chicago, and now it's going to get even worse. Some of the citizens there are just stuck there. Okay, this is where a lot of the lower income housing, affordable housing for people to live in Chicago is in this area. And a lot of people are just stuck there, and they're in the middle of this, and they're just having bullets flying by. Okay, that's what's reality for a lot of people in Chicago right now. It's already bad there, and it looks like it could get even worse. Okay, and this is what they're trying to do in Aurora. They're trying to do this in other cities right now too. Texas, down at the border, El Paso is on high alert because Mexico just warned that there's a major influx of this organization, this TDA, coming from Venezuela, and they're moving through the Mexican state of Chihuahua right now, moving up into El Paso and into Texas. Okay, the Mexican border authorities put out a alert for it just last week. All right, I made a whole video on it. So this isn't stopping. And also something that's going on is that the DHS has warned local authorities there in Chicago. They have given them memos showing them pictures of tattoos. Okay, there's like dozens of tattoos that they have that can signify that they're in this organization. And the DHS was sending out this memo to Chicago just recently in the past month to warn them about these organizations that are coming there and how can they identify them, the police and law enforcement, because they normally will not openly identify themselves. Okay, and there's also this program too called Temporary Protected Status Designation, and that everyone coming from Venezuela has this special protection status. It's called Temporary Protection Status, and the Secretary of Homeland Security just announced an extension to this status for 18 more months on August 1st. Okay, so any person coming from Venezuela, they cannot be deported. And Venezuela is actively non-cooperating with the U.S. right now too on deportations. They're not accepting any of them, and they're refusing to allow people to even come back to Venezuela right now, especially people that are convicted or part of these organizations. Okay, Venezuela is just like clearing them out, letting them come to the United States, and then not even accepting them back if the U.S. tries to deport them. All right, and they've also just been issued, quote, temporary protected status It is a temporary immigration status that allows foreign nationals to work and remain in the United States without being deported. So it also gives them access to work permits as well too at an expedited rate. It says it's granted to people from countries that are experiencing extraordinary or temporary conditions such as armed conflict, environmental disasters, or epidemics that make it unsafe for their citizens to return home. Okay, so they've granted the status to Venezuela, so they're not even sending anyone there. Okay, that's not even part of the program. Even these alleged members can try to claim this temporary protected status and potentially even not be sent back through that as well too. Okay, so and there's multiple different countries that have been designated that, and they're actively given priority to come into the US, and they have access to the DHS-1 app as well too, which is a Department of Homeland Security phone app where they can actively go and book flights straight into the US on a scheduled date to be processed. So instead of just crossing, and they can fly into a port of entry, into an airport. Okay, so instead of just traveling through southern countries and going up through Mexico and then through Texas or New Mexico, Arizona, California, and being processed at a port of entry and entering that way, they can book it on their phones with a app. It's called the DHS-1 app. Okay, and they can book a specific date to fly in. They can fly into JFK Airport in New York. Okay, they can fly into O'Hare in Chicago, in Illinois. And they are then processed and then let into the country right there on the spot. Right? This is 100% real. I've been reporting on this stuff for years now. Okay, this has been going on. So please just hit it up for me down there, guys, to help get these warnings out. I appreciate that. I'm trying to keep you guys updated on all this big stuff happening. It is a lot. There's a lot going on right now, and multiple different cities are feeling the effects and the pressure of this, okay? And the cities and the governors are not taking it serious. The federal government's not taking it serious, obviously, because they're the ones funding and facilitating these things. And even the Aurora mayor came out and said that he thinks the federal government was potentially funding people to put them into certain apartments and certain buildings without his knowledge, and just shoving them in there and essentially just kind of helping take over certain areas by just overwhelming them with so many people and giving them funds to go there. That's what the Aurora mayor was saying. Okay, so, and the state is not doing anything, and the local city officials are not doing anything either. Okay, they're actively denying that these situations exist. So please get prepared. Please stay safe and stay on high alert, especially if you're in one of these cities, and defend yourself legally and lawfully, your family, whatever the laws are legally for your area. Every state's different, city. But please defend yourself. Don't be a victim to one of these situations, because people are worried. People don't want to go to the park. People don't want to go to the playground with their kids. They're worried to go to the grocery store in some of these areas. They're worried to just be out and about because the presence is so heavy, okay? And it's just open, a lot of these organizations. They're just openly carrying firearms in the middle of the city and riding on motorcycles, these scooters, and just rolling up and taking over areas and causing chaos wherever they want. Okay, so thank you guys. I hope you guys have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.